Chapter 3562. The place that the Dragon Palace had occupied previously had the Resurrection Tablet. The Resurrection Tablet could resurrect the dead. The Heaven Plant Demon Beast race should have a similar grotto heaven. He looked at the waterfall with a cold smile. Although all the pinnacle experts of the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race had been killed, they had been resurrected. As long as they were given sufficient resources, they could return to their pinnacle realm. It won't be that easy to resurrect. Wang Xian moved and immediately flew towards the waterfall. Boom! The waterfall was extremely high, and the depth of the water below was terrifying. When Wang Xian flew over, the waterfall flowed backward. The accumulated waterfall technique flowed towards the surroundings rapidly. The water below the waterfall flowed towards the surroundings rapidly. Soon, there was no water stain at the bottom of the waterfall. In the deepest part of the cave, halfway down there was a hole. The hole was 1,000 meters wide, and was covered by a layer of energy. However, at this moment, there were more than 30 seeds in the hole. These seeds shone with light, and above the races, there were floating illusory figures. The shadows flickered. At the front, the shadow was absorbing all sorts of energy to recover its weakened body. At this moment, the shadow at the front noticed the changes in the waterfall and was shocked. Chief, we've been discovered. At the back, the group of shadows also sensed it. Their expressions changed drastically as they spoke. Even if we've been discovered, the defense of our grotto heaven can only be broken by attacks from the Universe Lord realm. Before the chief could speak, a shadow at the side spoke in a deep voice. Swish. At the front, the chief of the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race waved his arm, and a Universe AI flew towards him. Swish. At this moment, Wang Xian's figure appeared in everyone's sight. Who would have expected the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race to have such a treasured land that could resurrect so many living beings? Wang Xian came to the front of the Heaven Plant Demon Beast's grotto heaven. Through the azure energy shield, he could see more than 30 shadows. Beneath these illusory figures were seeds. Clearly, this was their method of resurrection. Try Mad 1, Gad 2. Catch X. But they all looked abnormally weak. Dragon Palace's Dragon King, you actually dared to exterminate our Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan. Our Angel clan's elders will not let you off. Just wait for your death. The phantom of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan's patriarch trembled and roared with a cold expression. Hee. Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian sneered. The first to perish will be your Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan. You want to destroy us? As long as we are still here, the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast race will not perish. You want to destroy us? Dream on. The leader of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beasts roared with a sinister expression. Although their Heaven Plant Demon Beasts were destroyed, they were not dead. As long as they didn't die, the Heaven Plant Demonic Beasts would be able to return to their peak. However, this time the blow to their Heaven Plant Demonic Beast race was very, very huge. Countless experts, disciples, and resources were all plundered by the Dragon Palace. Only when the Dragon Palace was destroyed could they vent their hatred. Wishful thinking? Heaven Plant Demonic Beast race. This is the price you have to pay for going against the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 5 elements grindstone appeared in his hand. He injected energy into it and smashed it at the defensive shield in front of him. Boom! A terrifying collision sound was heard. However, the attack of the 5 elements grindstone didn't break the defensive shield. This made him raise his eyebrows slightly. You can't break the defensive shield of our grotto heaven and blessed land. I'll watch your Dragon Palace perish. When the leader of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan saw the grotto heaven and blessed land withstanding Wang Xian's attack easily, he roared with a hideous expression. He switched on the Universe AI and immediately reported the situation to the experts from the Angel clan and the Sacred Dragon bloodline. This time, they were annihilated by the Dragon Palace because of the Sacred Dragon bloodline. Naturally, they had to come and help them out. Do you really think I can't do anything to you? Wang Xian revealed a sarcastic expression as he looked to the sky. Dragon King. Enlai appeared beside Wang Xian as he looked at the grotto heaven and blessed land in front of him. Yes, Dragon King. Enlai nodded his head and disappeared instantly. The next moment, he disappeared and appeared beside the leader of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan. "Hi everyone. I'm coming in." Enlai looked at them and greeted them with a smile. "Try Mad 1, Gad 2. At this moment, the leader of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan and the rest were staring at Wang Xian with hatred and anger. They were stunned to see Enlai coming in. What's going on? How did he come in? What's going on? Wang. Enlai quickly set up a devil soul sacrificial altar before disappearing and appearing beside Wang Xian. Soon, while they were still in a state of confusion, Enlai brought Wang Xian in. "I'm here again." Enlai continued with a smile. You. The leader of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan and the rest trembled violently when they saw Enlai and Wang Xian coming in again. "I'll let your Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan perish first." Wang Xian stared at them. He said with a sarcastic expression, "Soul assimilation." He waved his arm and performed the soul assimilation on the leader of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan. The weakened leader of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan flashed and entered Wang Xian's body. All the information about him was transmitted into Wang Xian's mind. No. Give us a chance. We're willing to submit. We're willing. Don't kill us." At this moment, all the experts of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan broke down completely. When they were killed just now, they knew they still had a chance to revive. But now once they died, they would really die. They didn't want to die. The experts of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan wanted to beg for mercy. "What's the use of keeping you?" Wang Xian looked at them with disdain and performed the soul assimilation art one by one. Soon, more than 30 shadows dissipated. This also meant that the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan was completely annihilated. Wang Xian waved his arm, and a wave of energy landed on the ground. The protective shield in front of him gradually disappeared. He looked at a stone tree in the middle. This stone tree was connected to the ground and was the core of this paradise. There were more than a dozen dazzling races on the stone tree. As long as one injected their blood essence into these seeds, they could revive through these races after death. Wang Xian walked over to take a look. After confirming that he couldn't take it away, he moved and flew to the side. "It's time to harvest." Chapter 3563. The Heaven Plant's Demonic Beast Race, along with the death of the Heaven Plant's Demonic Beast Race, represented the extinction of the entire race. The experts of Dragon Palace started to harvest the resources of the Heaven Plant's Demonic Beast Race. The resources of a powerful high-level race were extremely terrifying. Only the Heaven Plant's Demonic Beast Race is left. Where are they? Not here yet. At the same time, in a palace of the sacred dragon bloodline, the experts of the 5 races had all gathered. They were the subsidiary races of the Heaven Plant's Demonic Beast Race, so it was easy to rush over. They directly used the transfer array to reach the angel race's location. Then they would arrive at the sacred dragon bloodline. In terms of time, if they wanted to rush over, they would only need 10 minutes. Now the ghoul eaters, shepherd gods, giant of light, light bugs and black fog spirit races' third-order sovereigns had arrived. Only the Heaven Plant's Demonic Beast Race had yet to arrive. "Everyone please calm down. Brother Heaven Plant Demonic Beasts must have been delayed by a small matter. Let me ask Brother Heaven Plant Demonic Beasts." The Sacred Dragon King said with a smile when he saw the experts of the various races rushing him. He took out the Universe AI and opened it. When he opened it, he saw a message from the Heaven Plant's Demonic Beast Race leader. Because he was greeting the experts of the 5 races, he did not check the message on the Universe AI. Now that he saw it was a message from the Heaven Plant's Demonic Beast Race leader, he immediately opened it. What? When he saw the message from the leader of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beasts, he immediately sat up from his throne, his face revealing an expression of incomparable shock. What's wrong? Around them, the powerful cultivators of the 5 major tribes were also shocked to see the Holy Dragon King's pale expression. At their level of cultivation, there were very few things that could make them so shocked. How? How is this possible? How is this possible? Sacred Dragon King could not help but roar. His expression changed drastically. This caused the surrounding experts to frown and look at him. The Heaven Plant's Demonic Beast Race was invaded by the Dragon Palace. including the Heaven Plant's demonic beast race leader. They were all killed and revived through the Blessed Land. The Heaven Plant's demonic beast race is almost annihilated. The Holy Dragon King's growl continued. His words stunned all the powerful cultivators of the 5 major tribes. Their faces were filled with shock. How is this possible? Why did the Dragon Palace suddenly attack the Heaven Plant demonic beast race? How could it destroy a Heaven Plant demon beast? The patriarch of the Black Fog Spirit clan stood up instantly and asked in shock. The relationship between the Black Fog Spirit clan and the Heaven Plant Demon Beast clan was relatively close, so the leader of the Black Fog Spirit clan knew the strength of the Heaven Plant Demon Beast clan very well. But now, the Heaven Plant demonic beasts were suddenly annihilated? They were a powerful high-level race that had existed for more than 20 billion years. How could they be destroyed so easily? This is a message from the Heaven Plant's demonic beast race leader. I'm sending him a message now, but I haven't received any reply. The Holy Dragon King's expression changed as he spoke. His gaze swept across all the powerful cultivators of the 5 major tribes. The Heaven Plant's demonic beast race leader probably wouldn't spread such news. Come, let's head over immediately. Alright, let's head over to the Heaven Plant's demonic beast race immediately. The powerful cultivators of the 5 major tribes didn't hesitate. They immediately stood up and flew out. The Heaven Plant's demonic beast race leader wouldn't spread such news recklessly. Since he sent such a message, it proved that something had definitely happened to the Heaven Plant's demonic beast race. This shocked all of them. Did the Dragon Palace really annihilate the Heaven Plant's demonic beast race? Wang. They arrived at the teleportation portal of the sacred dragon bloodline, and immediately vanished. The next moment, they arrived at a radiant sacred mountain. There was a teleportation portal that led directly to the Heaven Plant's demonic beast race. However, when they arrived, Archangel Gabriel stood in front of the teleportation portal with a slight frown. Greetings, Archangel Gabriel. The Holy Dragon King and the rest greeted Archangel Gabriel respectfully when they saw him. The other side of the teleportation portal has been destroyed. Archangel Gabriel looked at them and said, "Destroyed?" The Holy Dragon King and the rest turned grim when they heard that. The spirit tablet of the Heaven Plant's demonic beast race leader has been broken. He's completely dead. Let's teleport to the Black Fog Spirit tribe first before heading over to investigate. Archangel Gabriel said as he stepped into a teleportation portal at the side. The Heaven Plant's demonic beast race leader is completely dead? The Holy Dragon King and the rest trembled violently when they heard that. They immediately followed closely behind. When they arrived at the Black Fog Spirit tribe, Archangel Gabriel flapped his wings and wrapped around the Holy Dragon King and the rest of the experts. They immediately flew towards the Heaven Plant's demonic beast race. As the distance was too far, even if it was Archangel Gabriel or an expert at the Universe Lord realm, they would still need 4 days to arrive. However, by the time they arrived, Wuxia and the experts from the Dragon Palace had already harvested all the resources of the Heaven Plant demonic beasts, including the Universe God Nation that belonged to the disciples of the Heaven Plant's demonic beast race. They were all thrown into the Dragon Palace. This was not a small project, and it took 2 days. It's almost done. Enlai, set up some demonic spiritual altars in the surroundings so that we can teleport here instantly. Let's go back. Wuxia instructed Enlai. He swept his gaze across the disciples of the Dragon Palace and spoke with a smile. Yes, Dragon King. The rest of the experts from the Dragon Palace nodded their heads excitedly as their figures gradually disappeared. The next moment, Wuxia appeared in the Dragon Palace. Prime Minister Turtle, clean up the spoils of war this time, and bring over the precious ones. Wuxia immediately ordered Prime Minister Turtle when he arrived at the Dragon King Hall. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle responded immediately. The harvest this time is definitely not small. It will increase the number of Third Order Universe Lords in the Dragon Palace by more than 20. Wuxia sat on the dragon throne with a smile on his face. He took out the Universe Smart Computer and looked at the hottest news. The corner of his mouth curved slightly. Currently, the 6 major races had decided to assist the Sacred Dragon bloodline to unify the Divine Dragon tribe. This was still the hottest topic. All the experts from the various races and forces were discussing when the sacred dragon bloodline would strike. They were discussing how the Dragon Palace and the sacred dragon bloodline would resist. However, this time, no one was optimistic about the Dragon Palace and the sacred dragon bloodline. This was because this time, it was the alliance of the 6 major races. It was the will of the Light Clan. It was the orders of the Light Clan. How could the Dragon Palace and the ancestral dragon bloodline resist the orders of a pinnacle race? Chapter 3564. Seems like you are not optimistic about Dragon Palace and the ancestral dragon bloodline. In that case, let me give you a surprise. Wuxia smiled as he read about the 6 major races assisting the sacred dragon bloodline to unify the divine dragon bloodline. He took out the universe AI and immediately posted a message. This message was accompanied by a series of pictures. These pictures were the corpses of the experts of the heavenly plants demon beast race, as well as the scene of their annihilation. He posted it in the name of the Dragon Palace. When Wuxia posted the message, it immediately caused a huge commotion. In fact, the entire chaotic continent was in an uproar. As there had been a lot of news about the Dragon Palace in the past 1,000 years, many experts and disciples were paying attention to the account on the universe AI. When they saw the information and pictures of the Dragon Palace, all of them were dumbfounded. Dragon Palace. The heavenly plants demon beasts, ghoul eaters, god shepherds, giant of light, light bugs and black fog spirit tribe want to help the sacred dragon bloodline to unify the divine dragon bloodline and make the Dragon Palace submit to them. They are the enemies of the Dragon Palace. Today, we have destroyed the heavenly plants demon beast clan to warn the other 5 clans that the sacred dragon bloodline is the enemy of the Dragon Palace. If they help them, they will be the mortal enemy of the Dragon Palace. This was the message posted by Wuxia with a dozen pictures attached. Fuck this, is this real or fake? Is this real or fake? The Dragon Palace annihilated the heavenly plants demon beast race? SSS, how is this possible? The heavenly plants demon beast race was annihilated? It has only been a month since the 6 major races announced that they would assist the sacred dragon bloodline. In such a short time, the heavenly plants demon beast race was annihilated by the Dragon Palace? This is unbelievable. The heavenly plants demon beast race had at least a dozen third-order universe sovereigns. How could they be annihilated so easily? They had been in the universe for more than 20 billion years. That's the corpse of the heavenly plants demon beast race leader. The heavenly plants demon beast race was really annihilated by the Dragon Palace. How could the Dragon Palace be so powerful? Does the Dragon Palace have a universe sovereign? How could they annihilate the heavenly plants demon beast race so quickly? Even if they rushed over in a month, they wouldn't be able to make it in time. Looking at this message from the Dragon Palace, all the experts and disciples of the various races and forces were dumbfounded. Heaven plant demonic beasts were not weak. A subsidiary race of the angel race. A powerful existence that determined everything. Most importantly, a month ago, the sacred dragon bloodline had announced that the 6 major tribes would assist them in unifying the divine dragon tribe. In the end, the heavenly plant demon beast was destroyed by the Dragon Palace. Moreover, he directly issued a warning that if they dared to help the sacred dragon bloodline, they would end up like the heaven plant demon beasts. The Dragon Palace is too domineering. Who's going to destroy who? One of the 6 major races, and the sacred dragon bloodline has already been killed before they even took action. This is simply terrifying. How powerful is the Dragon Palace? With the pictures posted by Wuxia, no one would think that the news from the Dragon Palace was fake. There was no need for the Dragon Palace to release fake news. The question was, how strong was the Dragon Palace? What kind of power did they have to be able to exterminate an incomparably powerful heaven plant demonic beast race in such a short period of time? This was too terrifying. With such strength, who else could be a match for the Dragon Palace other than the top clans? Probably very, very few, right? Just as countless people were in an uproar, Archangel Gabriel led the sacred dragon king and the group of experts towards the heaven plant demon beast race. As they didn't need to fly by themselves, the sacred dragon king checked the information on the universe AI from time to time. He wanted to know if the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race had really been annihilated. He quickly saw the information posted by Wuxia. When he saw the content, his face turned extremely ugly. Lord Archangel Gabriel, the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race has been annihilated. The Dragon Palace has posted this information on the Universe AI. The Sacred Dragon King looked at Archangel Gabriel and said with a bitter face, the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race had really been annihilated. A powerful high-level race had been annihilated before they could react. The strength of the Dragon Palace was simply too terrifying. Their strength was much stronger than the Sacred Dragon bloodline. Archangel Gabriel was stunned when he heard the Sacred Dragon King. He moved his palm and took out the Universe AI. When he saw the information, his face turned cold. The Dragon Palace is courting death. How dare they annihilate the subsidiary races of the Angel tribe? Archangel Gabriel bellowed with a murderous look. Swoosh! He flapped his 12 angel wings and quickly flew toward the Heaven Plant Demon Beast's Heaven Plant Forest. At the side, the experts from the other 5 major races also opened the Universe AI. When they saw the threat from the Dragon Palace, their faces turned ugly. How dare they threaten us? The Shepherd God Tribe's patriarch looked at the message coldly. His expression was extremely ugly. The Shepherd God's tribe had always thought that they were much stronger than the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race. However, it would be extremely difficult to annihilate them. In other words, the strength of the Dragon Palace was much stronger than the Shepherd God's tribe. After the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race was attacked by the Dragon Palace, they should have requested for help. However, when they received the information, the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race had already been annihilated. This meant that the speed at which the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race was annihilated was extremely fast. To be able to annihilate the Dragon Palace, which had over 20 Third-Order Universe Sovereigns, how strong were they? How many Third-Order Universe Sovereigns did they have? According to the rule that it took 3 experts to kill one of the same level, the Dragon Palace had over 60 Third-Order Universe Sovereigns? If the experts from the ancestral dragon bloodline were to make a move, the Dragon Palace would have over 40 Third-Order Universe Sovereigns? Close to 50? This number was much higher than the Shepherd God's tribe. If the Shepherd God's tribe was attacked, even if they weren't annihilated, they would be in a tragic state. Lord Archangel Gabriel, you have to avenge the Heaven Plant Demon Beast clan. The Sacred Dragon King's expression changed as he spoke to Archangel Gabriel. Now that the Dragon Palace had displayed such terrifying strength, the Sacred Dragon King no longer had the confidence to annihilate them. If the angel race were to make a move, things would be different if Archangel Gabriel were to make a move. Archangel Gabriel snorted and didn't say a word. He was furious about the annihilation of the Heaven Plant Demon Beast race. How could a high-level race dare to annihilate a subsidiary race of the angel race? That was simply courting death. Chapter 3565. Angel Gabriel's face was filled with murderous intent as he sped towards the Heaven Plant Demon clan. The experts from the Sacred Dragon bloodline and the other 5 races were also filled with rage and murderous intent. How dare they threaten the 5 races? This is the strength of Dragon Palace? They actually annihilated the Heaven Plant Demon clan? How is this possible? The Heaven Plant Demon clan. How can the Dragon King of Dragon Palace be so powerful? At the same time, at the ancestral dragon lineage, the 13 pinnacle warriors of the ancestral dragon lineage saw the information on the Universe AI, and their faces were filled with shock. What did they see? The Sacred Dragon bloodline wanted to unify the Divine Dragon clan. They were prepared to advance and retreat together with Dragon Palace, and were prepared for war. In the end, before the war broke out, Dragon Palace annihilated the Heaven Plant Demon clan. That was the Heaven Plant Demon clan, a powerful and advanced race. This required at least 2 to 3 times the strength of the Heaven Plant Demon clan to enter their lair and annihilate them. Then, Dragon Palace needed 40 to 50 Third-Order Universe Sovereigns with combat power. Did Dragon Palace have so many experts? With so many experts from Dragon Palace and the 13 of them, wouldn't they be able to contend against the Sacred Dragon bloodline? Could it be that Dragon Palace is the hope of the Divine Dragon clan? Golden Dragon King murmured. The other 12 pinnacle experts from the ancestral dragon bloodline fell silent. Perhaps that was the case. The strength displayed by the Dragon Palace was far inferior to that of the ancestral dragon lineage in the past. Too strong. Just as the outside world was in shock, Wang Xian was looking at the large amount of treasures in the Dragon King Hall of Dragon Palace. This time, after annihilating the entire Heaven Plant Demon Clan, Dragon Palace's harvest was huge. The God Kingdoms of 16 Third Order Universe Sovereigns, all their resources, and the entire Heaven Plant Demon Clan's resources. These resources were extremely terrifying. I wonder if I have enough resources to improve myself, Wang Xian murmured. Currently, his strength had reached the Third Order Universe Sovereign level. If he improved again, he would have the strength of a Fourth Order Universe Sovereign. At this stage, he would be able to contend against a true Universe Sovereign. With the resources of the entire Heaven Plant Demon Clan, Wang Xian felt that it was still possible for him to break through. Of course, it was only a possibility. This was because Wang Xian realized that there weren't any elixir pills, divine herbs, divine wood, or divine fruits in the entire treasury of the Heaven Plant's demonic beasts. As a wood attribute race, it was very strange that they didn't have these treasures. However, he had obtained a piece of information from the Heaven Plant race leader's memories. The seed of advancement. With a wave of his hand, a seed appeared in his hand. There was a majestic aura within the race. Wang Xian looked at the evolution seed, and his eyes shone brightly. This was the most precious treasure of the leader of the Heavenly Plant demonic beasts. This was also the reason why the Heaven Plant spirit beasts did not have any other wood attribute treasures. Most of the treasures had been absorbed by the seed of advancement. The seed of advancement was just like its name suggested. It could allow an expert to break through their shackles and advance. This race was incomparably precious. In the eyes of the Heaven Plant demonic race leader, they were even more precious than primordial spirit treasures. Right now, his race had yet to reach maturity. Once it did, he would be able to break through to the Universe Ruler Realm after consuming it. The true Universe Ruler Realm. This was definitely one of the most precious treasures in the universe. One had to know that even the third prince of the angel race did not have any way to help the sacred Dragon King break through to the Universe Ruler Realm. Similarly, the effects of this seed of advancement were extremely powerful. However, the resources required to mature it were too huge. The nurturing of the seed itself and countless resources. The leader of the Heaven Plant demonic race squandered the wood attribute resources that the entire race had accumulated. All of them had been absorbed and had yet to mature. Although this treasure was heaven-defying, it was even harder to obtain one than primordial spirit treasures. It was several times more difficult. I'll place it on the progenitor tree and try it out. Wang Xian looked at the seed of advancement. With a flick of his palm, a branch came to his front from behind. He placed the seed of advancement on the branch and waited for the reaction of the progenitor tree. Wang. As he expected, the seed of advancement gradually integrated into the branch of the progenitor tree and formed a special seed. At the same time, a message was transmitted into Wang Xian's mind. When he absorbed this message, his eyes lit up. After the progenitor tree absorbed the seed of advancement, it could bear such a fruit in the future. However, at the current level of the progenitor tree, it would take 10 million years for this seed to mature. Moreover, it would take 100 million years for the seed of advancement to mature. In other words, 100 million years was enough for a third-order universe ruler to break through to the universe ruler realm. To Wang Xian and the Dragon Palace, this was too long. Of course, there were other ways to speed up the maturation of the seed of advancement. That was to feed it with treasures. Would attribute treasures. However, the amount of treasures and resources required would probably be huge. This seed of advancement is useful. However, the maturation period is too long and the resources required are too much. I can only wait for the progenitor tree to evolve. He mumbled to himself. Other than the most precious seed of advancement, the next best thing was the only primordial spirit treasure of the Heaven Plant demonic beast race. A leaf with the light attribute. This leaf was called Time Fragment. Time Fragment was an offensive primordial spirit treasure. As long as there was light, It could condense into a terrifying leaf and use it as a weapon to attack. The attack of the time fragment was equally terrifying. However, it was still useful to Wang Xian. He was prepared to refine it. Currently, the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon board could not absorb the time fragment. They could only absorb it after they broke through. However, it was extremely difficult for the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon board to break through. The number of primordial spiritual treasures required was too much. Other than the time fragment, there were many other treasures. There were hundreds of primordial spiritual treasures, most of which were of the wood attribute. Wang Xian wondered if they could help the 5 elements grindstone break through. After checking through all the treasures and resources, Wang Xian began to devour and absorb the remaining treasures and resources. Within the Dragon Palace, the rest of the disciples were also starting to improve. How much could the resources of the entire Heaven Plant demonic beast race improve the Dragon Palace? Wang Xian did not know about the others, but there were 16 Third Order Universe Ruler corpses. There were 16 God nations with Third Order Universe Ruler combat strength. This could increase the Dragon Palace by 24 Third Order Universe Rulers combat strength. Chapter 3566. This time, the annihilation of the Heaven Plant's demonic beast clan was accompanied by close to 100 Second Order Universe Sovereigns. These close to 100 Second Order Universe Sovereigns could allow the Dragon Palace to produce 9 Third Order Universe Sovereigns. All in all, this battle would allow the Dragon Palace to have an additional 33 Third Order Universe Sovereigns. In addition to the original 20, the Dragon Palace would have a total of 53. With such strength, even if they were to face the Sacred Dragon bloodline and the 5 major races, Wang Xian would still have some confidence. Especially with the help of the 13 pinnacle experts from the Ancestral Dragon bloodline. The upgrade of the Dragon Palace had begun. The universe AI was still in an uproar. Everyone wanted to know what the Sacred Dragon bloodline would do next. They wanted to know what the angel race would do. After all, the Heaven Plant's demonic beast clan was a subsidiary race of the angel race. Whoosh! Time passed day by day. At the edge of the Heaven Plant's forest, a group of figures flew towards the depths at a terrifying speed. Soon, they arrived at the core of the Heaven Plant's demonic beast clan's territory. Above the waterfall, Archangel Gabriel floated as he scanned the area below with a bitter expression. The Heaven Plant's demonic beast clan was in a mess, without any signs of life. In this battle, although many Heaven Plant's demonic beast experts had escaped, there was not a single Heaven Plant's demonic beast disciple left in their lair. Those who died died. Those who escaped fled. The entire Heaven Plant's demonic beast clan was no more. Dragon Palace. Archangel Gabriel spat out these 2 words with a murderous look. Lord Archangel Gabriel. Holy Dragon King and the other powerful cultivators looked at him from the side and shouted with a sullen expression, "Let's go, to the Dragon Palace." Archangel Gabriel waved his arm, and the Khanate Cardinal Treasure, the Cross of Judgment, appeared in his hand. He drew a line in front of him, and a black hole appeared. Archangel Gabriel led them into the black hole. Archangel Gabriel rushed at full speed. He took out the Khanate Cardinal Treasure to rush along. With the might of the Khanate Cardinal Treasure, everywhere he passed by, it brought with it a majestic aura. Especially the power of the Khanate Cardinal Treasure, when it tore through the void of the chaotic heavens continent. It brought with it terrifying heaven and earth energy, causing all living beings to tremble. Universe Lord Realm experts were rushing along. It was a majestic and terrifying sight. However, the surrounding living beings could only feel the terrifying pressure, but they didn't know what was going on. His speed was simply too fast. Within a year, he would be able to reach the eternal river of heaven. I never expected the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace to upgrade the Dragon Palace to such a level in such a short period of time. At this moment, a dozen or so great fairies were sitting in a space on the Tree of Life in the Fairy Clan's territory. The Life Sound Arrow looked at the information on the AI, and its face was filled with shock. I feel that the Dragon King seems to have obtained a powerful legacy from the Divine Dragon tribe. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to improve so quickly. A great elf at the side made a guess. The power of 5 elements and the power of light and darkness. Haha, isn't this the combination of the 5 elements Dragon King and the light and dark Dragon King of the Divine Dragon tribe? I wonder if he has obtained the inheritance of Lord Water Dragon. A great elf said with a smile. I don't think so. If the Dragon King had obtained the inheritance of Lord Water Dragon, he wouldn't have become the only Yin-Yang 5 elements Divine Dragon in the universe. Yin-Yang 5 elements Divine Dragon sounds very powerful and heaven-defying, but in fact, it has no fate with Heaven Yuan. If he had obtained the inheritance of Lord Water Dragon, there would be no need for him to cultivate other attributes. In the center, a somewhat aged great elf shook his head. That's true. Now that the Dragon Palace has destroyed the Heaven Plant demonic beasts, the angel tribe probably won't let it go. There might be a great angel attacking them. The Life Sound Arrow looked at the surrounding great elves and said, although there is an agreement between us peak races, the angel tribe has their own reasons. Although this reason isn't sufficient, why don't I go? Sure. Remind the angel tribe not to break the rules. The old great elf nodded. The fairy tribe had a good relationship with the divine dragon tribe in the past. In the previous era, the divine dragon tribe and the fairy tribe had even fought side by side. This was also the reason why the fairy tribe was willing to help the divine dragon tribe. To them, the ancestral dragon bloodline and the dragon palace belonged to the divine dragon lineage. Especially since the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace had obtained the 5 elements Dragon King and the Light and Dark Dragon King. The Life Sound Arrow flew out from the fairy tribe and headed towards the Eternal Heaven River. Time passed day by day. 2 months later, the Dragon Palace had absorbed all the resources of the Heaven Plant demonic beasts. What made Wang Xian regretful was that he didn't achieve a breakthrough. Based on the amount of dragon energy he needed to level up, he might need to destroy a race like the Heaven Plant demonic beasts to increase his strength. It was the same for the 5 elements grindstone. He was just a step away from a breakthrough. Although Wang Xian didn't improve, the improvement of the Dragon Palace was huge this time. 33 Third Order Universe Sovereigns. The number of Universe Sovereigns and above had increased by more than 400. This increased the number of Universe Sovereigns and above to more than 1,200. This number was equivalent to 4 times that of the Heaven Plant demonic beasts. Prime Minister Turtle, send the spiked dragon guards around the Eternal Heaven River. Be wary of the Divine Dragon bloodline. Wang Xian ordered Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle answered immediately. Although the Dragon Palace had destroyed the Heaven Plant demonic beasts, the strength of the Divine Dragon bloodline was still not to be underestimated. The necessary vigilance was still necessary. Once there's any movement from the 5 major races, get in line to attack their nests. I just don't know if there are experts from the angel race guarding the nests of the 5 major races. And this time, will the angel race have any reaction after destroying the Heaven Plant demonic beasts? The fairy race said that the pinnacle races can't get involved in the affairs of other low-level races. I wonder if that's true. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he considered the next step. The Divine Dragon bloodline would definitely react after destroying the Heaven Plant demonic beasts. He just didn't know if the angel race, as the master, would react. If the angel race really reacted, the Dragon Palace would have to think of a way to hide. By then, the fairy race would have a way out. Of course, this was the worst-case scenario. Time passed day by day. Wang Xian didn't act rashly. He was waiting for the other party's reaction. However, there was no reaction from the Divine Dragon bloodline. This made Wang Xian even more vigilant. Chapter 3567. Swish swish swish. Inside the Chaos Continent, Archangel Gabriel was flying through the void at high speed. It would take them a year to reach the Dragon Palace from the Heaven Plant demonic beast's territory. By the time he arrived, the Dragon Palace had already completed its upgrade. He had integrated the innate Cardinal Treasure Time fragment into his dragon scales, which boosted his strength a little. According to his investigation, an expert could fully control 3 primordial cardinal treasures at most. Any more than that would be of little value. The increase in strength would be smaller. Of course, it wasn't completely useless. It was just that the effects of the innate cardinal treasure would be greatly reduced. As time passed, all the experts and disciples of the ancestral dragon lineage had gathered. They had set their base in the ocean of the mountains and seas. The distance from the Dragon Palace would only take 1 to 2 months if they were to fly. Now that the ancestral dragon lineage was preparing to open the teleportation formation with the Dragon Palace, both parties could quickly reinforce each other. A year passed very quickly. In the void in front of the eternal river of heaven, Archangel Gabriel's figure appeared. He flapped his 12 wings and stared in the direction of the heaven eternal river with murderous intent. This wasn't the first time he was here. The last time he was here was for the innate cardinal treasure, the 12th tier water lotus. This was a very powerful innate cardinal treasure. Unfortunately, it was destroyed by the giant galactic beast before it matured. As a result, he only got a part of it. And the giant galactic beast also escaped. This was the second time he was here. When the time comes, I'll slaughter the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace and enslave all the other experts and disciples of the Dragon Palace. Archangel Gabriel stared ahead as he spoke plainly to the sacred Dragon King and the rest. Yes, Archangel Gabriel. The sacred Dragon King nodded, his eyes filled with excitement. With Archangel Gabriel of the Angel clan taking action personally, there would be fewer accidents. Perhaps the annihilation of the heaven plant demonic beasts wasn't a bad thing for him. Boom. Archangel Gabriel entered the sky above the heaven eternal river. He didn't conceal his terrifying aura at all. His bright eyes stared at the ocean below and locked onto the Dragon Palace below the water in the sky. A terrifying aura descended upon the ground. It was as though the world of light had descended to the world. Dragon King. Dragon King, there's a terrifying light figure flying towards our Dragon Palace. It should be an expert from the Angel clan. At the same time, when Archangel Gabriel and the rest flew over, the Dragon Palace received the news. Prime Minister Turtle immediately came to the Dragon King Hall and reported with a grave expression. When Wang Xian heard Prime Minister Turtle, his eyes narrowed. Order all the experts of Dragon Palace to get ready. He moved and flew directly towards the Dragon Gate. Dragon King, I can sense it. It's that Birdman's aura. It's that Birdman's aura. At this moment, the Water Tentacle King appeared beside Wang Xian and roared with murderous intent. That Birdman? Archangel Gabriel? Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian replied, Yes, that's him. That's the Birdman. The Water Tentacle King replied loudly. Upon hearing this, Wang Xian was a little embarrassed. The battle between the Aqua Tentacle King and Archangel Gabriel over 1,000 years ago was still vivid in Wang Xian's mind. At that time, Archangel Gabriel took out 2 inborn cardinal treasures, and even summoned a 1,000,000-strong angel army. Water Tentacle King, do you think we can go against him if we join forces? Wang Xian asked the Water Tentacle King. Currently, Wang Xian's strength was terrifying enough. With all his trump cards and the Water Tentacle King, would they be able to go against Archangel Gabriel? It's possible to contend against it, but it's impossible to defeat it. The Water Tentacle King replied immediately. She was still very confident in going against him. She had witnessed Wang Xian's strength and knew all his trump cards. With her, they could go against a true universe dominator. However, it was impossible to defeat him. It's fine as long as we can go against him. Wang Xian murmured. They could go against him, but what about the other 50-odd third-order universe dominators in the Dragon Palace? If they joined forces, there was a high chance that they could defeat him. The Dragon Palace could go against a true universe dominator. Swish. Wang Xian flew out of the Dragon Palace and immediately looked towards the west. His eyes were locked on that terrifying figure that resembled the sun. His dragon eyes shone brightly. With the activation of his dragon eyes, Archangel Gabriel's figure appeared clearly in his vision. However, when he looked behind him, his expression changed slightly. Behind him, there were more than 60 third-order universe dominators, including the Sacred Dragon King. Coupled with the 1,000,000-strong angel army of over 100 archangels, the Dragon Palace was no match for them. However, there was still a high chance that the Dragon Palace could escape. In addition, the Pinnacle clans were prohibited from attacking other clans. This was a rule that Archangel Gabriel would probably not break. Of course, the Dragon Palace had to be prepared for the possibility of the other party breaking the rules. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, come out! Archangel Gabriel landed in front of the Dragon Palace at a terrifying speed. He shouted with a cold face, as though he was about to pass judgment on a sinner. He naturally knew the rules of the Pinnacle clans. Therefore, he was not prepared to destroy the entire Dragon Palace. He only wanted to kill the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. As for the remaining experts and disciples of the Dragon Palace, he would leave them to the sacred Dragon King and the rest. Archangel Gabriel, may I know why you are here at the Dragon Palace? The Pinnacle clans are prohibited from interfering in the affairs of other clans. They are also prohibited from attacking experts and disciples below the Pinnacle clans. Wuxia stared at Archangel Gabriel and said plainly, "You are the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? How dare you annihilate the subsidiary clans of the Angel clan? Today, I will kill you. Are you going to commit suicide or face my judgment?" Archangel Gabriel stared at Wuxia and said emotionlessly. He didn't care about the Dragon Palace. A Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. If he wanted to make a move, he could kill him in an instant. Wuxia frowned slightly upon hearing Archangel Gabriel's words. The other party disregarded the rules and used such an excuse to annihilate him? It seemed like he was going to meet the real universe dominator today. Wuxia clenched his fists and his eyes shone brightly. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, why aren't you committing suicide to atone for your sins? Our Archangel Gabriel is already being merciful by not annihilating your Dragon Palace. The sacred Dragon King stared at Wuxia from behind. His eyes were filled with violent murderous intent. This was the murderer of his son, and also the murderer of the experts of his sacred dragon bloodline. I'll give you 3 seconds. Archangel Gabriel stared at Wuxia and spat out another 5 words. This was a judgment from above. Chapter 3568. By lie, you've crossed the line. A terrifying aura flew towards the Dragon Palace. Inside the Dragon Palace, over 53rd Order Universe sovereigns were ready. Wuxia stared at Archangel Bai with fighting spirit in his eyes. However, just as Wuxia thought a huge battle was about to break out, a voice suddenly rang out. "Ha!" Upon hearing this voice, Wuxia was taken aback and looked up. In the sky above the Dragon Palace, a figure had appeared out of nowhere. Upon seeing this voice, Wuxia was a little shocked. The life sound arrow of the fairy race. This was the second time Wuxia had seen it. As for the fairy race, he was filled with gratitude. However, he did not expect the life sound arrow to appear here. She was obviously around the Dragon Palace to prevent the experts from the angel race from coming. This filled Wuxia with gratitude. The favor from the fairy race was getting bigger and bigger. The arrival of the life sound arrow also meant that Archangel Bai could not make a move. Ha! Archangel Bai frowned when he saw the sudden appearance of the life sound arrow. If you dare to break the rules, you will die. The life sound arrow stared at Archangel Bai and continued plainly. If you broke the rules set by the Pinnacle races and no one pursued the matter, then no one would pursue the matter. However, if the Pinnacle races pursued the matter, you would have to pay the price. If Archangel Bai dared to kill the innocent experts of other races, he would have to pay the price. The price was his life. Not even the angel race could protect him. This was because the Pinnacle races had set the rules back then. Life sound arrow, aren't the fairy race meddling in too much? Archangel Bai stared at the life sound arrow with a sour expression. The life sound arrow stared at him with a cold smile on its face. It just looked at him. If you break the rules, you will be judged. You are an archangel after all. Don't you find it embarrassing to attack the divine dragon race that has yet to recover? If word of this gets out, the other races will think that the angel race is trash. She said plainly. The words of the life sound arrow made Archangel Bai look a little embarrassed. Try Mad 1, Gad 2. Catch X. Haha, I'm just bored. I don't have to do anything to destroy an advanced race. Archangel Gabriel sneered and looked at the Holy Dragon King, and the rest behind him. Hee, if you want to destroy our Dragon Palace, it's impossible for the dogs behind you to do so. Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian replied coldly, "Give me another 1,000 years, and I can even kill you, Archangel Gabriel." Upon hearing Wang Xian's provocation, Archangel Gabriel's expression darkened as he stared at Wang Xian coldly. "Look at me? Hee, Archangel Bailey, do you dare to make a bet? 1,000 years later, let's have a one-on-one battle to the death. Do you dare?" Wang Xian stared at Archangel Gabriel and said coldly, "Ha ha ha, arrogant, what an arrogant thing. A mere divine dragon dares to be so insolent in front of me?" Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, Archangel Gabriel couldn't help but burst into laughter. He stared at Wang Xian with contempt. "If it weren't for the experts from the elf clan, I could kill you with a single finger. In the next 1,000 years, if the angel clan doesn't interfere in the war between our dragon palace and the sacred dragon bloodline and the other 5 clans, I can annihilate all of them. If you dare to challenge me 1,000 years later, I can also kill you. I dare to say this. You can call me arrogant, but I'll say it." Wang Xian looked at him and said emotionlessly. Archangel Gabriel's smile faded a little as he stared at Wang Xian coldly. "Do you dare to challenge me 1,000 years later? If you have the guts, we can have a one-on-one battle." Wang Xian smiled faintly as he stared at Archangel Gabriel. "Ha ha ha, it's a pity that you won't be able to live to 1,000 years later." Archangel Gabriel laughed maniacally as he looked at the sacred dragon bloodline and the other 5 clans behind him. His eyes were filled with coldness. "Kill him and bring his head to me. If you can't do it, I'll hold you accountable. Lord Archangel Gabriel, don't worry. We'll definitely bring his head to you." The Holy Dragon King and the rest were shocked as they immediately responded loudly. "All right." Archangel Gabriel stared at Wang Xian before sweeping his gaze across the life sound arrow. With a cold snort, his figure gradually disappeared. "Coward," Wang Xian said as he watched Archangel Gabriel leave. "Try Mad 1, Gad 2. Catch X." Of course, he also knew that Archangel Gabriel was not a coward. He was just looking down on him. In the eyes of the other party, he would definitely be killed. "Hee, Holy Dragon King, 5 clans, do you want to have a fight now? You have over 63rd Order Universe Sovereigns." He looked at the Holy Dragon King and the rest and said sarcastically, "Dragon King, according to the 1,000-year promise, no matter which corner of the universe you escape to, we will kill you and cut off your head." The leader of the shepherd gods stared at Wang Xian and said coldly, "Hee, I'll escape? I'll attack you one by one and annihilate all your clans." Wang Xian sneered and said without any hesitation, "Is that so? Let's wait and see." The leader of the shepherd gods stared at Wang Xian with murderous intent as his figure gradually disappeared. They did not choose to attack. The dragon palace could annihilate the heaven plant demonic beasts. Therefore, they had at least 40 to 53rd Order Universe Sovereigns. Given the strength they had today, the probability of annihilating them was extremely slim. Therefore, they would gather all their forces and attack the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as the experts of the 5 clans and the Holy Dragon King left. "Thank you, Lord Life Sound Arrow of the City race, for your help. I, Wang Xian, am eternally grateful." Wang Xian looked at the Life Sound Arrow and expressed his gratitude. "Hee, you've got guts to challenge Gabriel." The Life Sound Arrow looked at Wang Xian with admiration. "That's because you're here, Lord Life Sound Arrow." Wang Xian chuckled and said, "Although the Pinnacle clans can't participate in the war between you guys, you have to be careful of the sacred dragon shepherd gods. I can guarantee that the experts from the angel race won't interfere, but I can't guarantee anything else. However, if the divine dragon race wants to return to its former glory, it's inevitable that there will be some turbulence. Work hard, little brat." The Life Sound Arrow smiled at Wang Xian and left the next moment. Wang Xian watched her leave with a smile on his face. As long as the angel race didn't participate in the war between them, Wang Xian was confident that he could annihilate the sacred dragon bloodline and the other 5 clans. He wanted to achieve a breakthrough in his strength after annihilating the 6 clans. He wanted the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon coil to achieve a breakthrough. At that time, he was confident that he could kill Archangel Gabriel. Chapter 3569. Archangel Gabriel, the sacred dragon bloodline, and the vital sonic arrow had left. Wang Xian returned to the dragon palace and sat on the dragon throne. Prime Minister Turtle and the other experts had all arrived. Yaki Devilsha, ask Enlai to take you to the Ghoul clan, the God Shepherd clan, the Light Giant clan, the Light Insect clan, and the Black Fog Spirit clan. Find one of them and sneak in to find out more about them. Wang Xian instructed the 8 Devil Fiend. It's Dragon King. Yamada no Demonsha, and the others nodded and answered immediately. The rest of the disciples of Dragon Palace, get ready. There will be a big battle. As Wang Xian spoke, his eyes shone with a cold gleam. This time, the sacred dragon bloodline and the other 6 races would send all their forces to attack the Dragon Palace. Although he had destroyed the Heaven Plant Monster clan, they still had the sacred dragon bloodline, the Ghoul clan, the Shepherd God clan, the Giant of Light clan, the Light Insect clan, and the Black Fog Spirit clan. The sacred dragon bloodline currently had the least number of third-order sovereigns. However, if the other 5 races were to work together, gathering 100 third-order sovereigns shouldn't be a problem. Even the Dragon Palace would not be able to deal with 100 of them. Coupled with the heritage and trump cards of the other races, it would be difficult for them to deal with the Dragon Palace. However, Wang Xian wasn't going to wait for the other party to attack first. With Enlai around, he could ambush the enemy's base as long as all of their experts dared to come out. Then Wang Xian would dare to annihilate all the disciples and clansmen in their lair. It's Dragon King. The experts of Dragon Palace answered with killing intent flashing in their eyes. Dark Lai, take us there. Wang Xian looked down at Enlai and said. He had Enlai take them there first. He needed to find some opportunities first. Buzz buzz buzz. At the same time, in the palace of the sacred dragon bloodline, the powerhouses of the Ghoul clan, the Shepherd clan, the Giant of Light clan, the Light Insect clan, and the Black Fog Spirit clan immediately gathered in the palace of the Divine Dragon clan after leaving the Dragon Palace. Our Shepherd God race has already sent out a notice. All the universe ruler level experts are prepared. The Shepherd God Patriarch said with a cold expression. If we use all our strength, we can still destroy that Dragon Palace. Try Mad One, Gad 2. The old man from the Giant of Light clan said coldly. The other 3 tribe leaders nodded slightly and looked at the Holy Dragon King. The 3rd prince sent me a message. Kill everyone in the Dragon Palace except the purebred divine dragons. The sacred Dragon King looked at them and said. Gather all our forces immediately and strike. All right. The patriarchs of the 5 major races immediately nodded in agreement. Archangel Gabriel had already given the order to kill, so they naturally had to complete this mission. Although the heaven plant beasts were destroyed, they were still confident that they could destroy the Dragon Palace if they used all their strength. This time, in order to prevent any accidents, everyone should take out some of your trump cards. The sacred Dragon King added. The leaders of the 5 clans nodded. Their eyes flickered with coldness as they returned to their clans and issued their orders. Time passed quickly. On the AI, the experts and disciples of the other clans did not know that the Dragon Palace, a Grand Angel, and the sacred dragon bloodline had begun their second round of battle. However, all the experts and disciples of the other clans knew that this was the calm before the storm. However, as they expected 1 month later, some races near the Ghoul clan, the Shepherd clan, the Giant of Light clan, the Light Insect clan, and the Black Fog Spirit clan noticed that the 5 races had started to move. War machines rose from their clans one after another, and a group of experts gathered. In the Shepherd God tribe's territory, a huge ancient corpse flew out from the Shepherd God tribe. This huge corpse contained a terrifying baleful aura and terrifying power. The corpse was millions of kilometers long and had an old face. It was terrifying. This was the Shepherd God tribe's strongest trump card. It was even stronger than the Xiantian treasures of their tribe. The so-called Shepherd God tribe was actually an ancient god's corpse. The strength of this god's corpse was not something a third-order universe sovereign could handle. In the Giant of Light tribe's territory, the experts of the other clans saw a dozen incomparably huge giants carrying a radiant mountain as they flew through the void. That terrifying radiant mountain caused the surrounding world to turn white. In the Light Insect tribe's territory, The experts of the other clans gathered countless insects to form a terrifying devouring insect. It soared into the sky and easily bit through the void as it burrowed into the black hole. Try Mad 1, Gad 2. In the Corpse Eaters tribe's territory, the other clans discovered a swamp-like corroded land. It flew out from the Corpse Eaters tribe's territory, bringing with it blood and evil as it flew towards the sky. In the Black Fog Spirit clan's territory, a black fog that covered the sky flew out of their clan's territory. As for what was inside it, no one knew. Huge changes happened to the 5 major races at the same time. Everyone knew that the 5 major races were about to make their move. They were going to assist the sacred dragon bloodline and prepare to attack the Dragon Palace. Moreover, the power of their attacks seemed to be more terrifying than he had imagined. Isn't that terrifying an ancient god's corpse the scariest existence in the God Shepherd tribe? It's said that it can easily kill any enemy below the universe ruler realm. It's terrifying. To fight against the Dragon Palace, they even took out such a trump card? The Light Insect tribe's territory seems to be the Light Insect tribe's race, right? It's said that the Light Insect tribe can perfectly fuse together. It's their trump card. The 5 major races are starting to move. I heard that they are using their strongest force to destroy the Dragon Palace. Looks like the destruction of the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast tribe has completely angered them. The 5 major races and the Sacred Dragon bloodline have gathered all their strength and taken out their strongest trump card. Will the Dragon Palace be their match? Will they be able to hold on? It'll be difficult. If they can hold on, the Dragon Palace will be heaven-defying. The news of the 5 major races' actions quickly spread through the AI. At this moment, the Great Wilderness continent was in an uproar once again. This level of war was no longer an ordinary war. This was the highest level war between the high-level races. There were more than 100 universe rulers with combat power above the Third Order. This power sent chills down the spines of the other races. Regarding this battle, everyone was discussing fervently. At this moment, the prediction of the war's outcome was not completely one-sided. Since the Dragon Palace entered the Great Wilderness continent, it had always been when others thought they couldn't hold on. They would go all out and destroy the other party. For this war, no one dared to say that the Dragon Palace would definitely lose. All wars broke out. Chapter 3570, Swoosh Swoosh Swoosh. Within the chaotic continent, Wuxia was flying forward at high speed. He had entered the territory of the Shepherd tribe. However, the current Shepherd tribe was a little desolate. There were very few experts and disciples in the tribe. The Shepherd tribe had made some preparations. The 8 devil spirits had entered the lair of the Shepherd tribe and had taken over the bodies of their disciples. However, the information they received was that all the disciples of the Shepherd tribe were either in their own holy kingdoms or in their grotto heavens and blessedness. The grotto heavens and blessedness of the Shepherd tribe could withstand the attacks of real universe lord experts. Wuxia frowned slightly when he received this news. This was not good news. Clearly, the Shepherd tribe had made thorough preparations to prevent the Dragon Palace from launching a sneak attack. In fact, the Shepherd tribe had already made all the arrangements in the tribe. In other words, most of the disciples who had entered the grotto heavens and blessedness could only leave and not enter before the Dragon Palace was destroyed. As for the rest of the disciples, there were not many of them in the tribe. This precaution could be said to be foolproof. Even if the Dragon Palace could invade, they could only destroy some buildings. This was something they could easily recover from. There would not be many casualties among the disciples. If all the disciples obeyed orders, none of them would die. Not only the Shepherd God tribe, but even the Giant of Light and the other 2 tribes were in the same situation. As for whether there were other arrangements, Wuxia did not know. In short, this time, the Sacred Dragon bloodline and the 5 major races were exceptionally cautious. However, no matter how cautious they were, they did not expect the Dragon Palace to have an existence like in Lai. He could ignore the defense of the grotto heavens and blessedness. Wuxia flew rapidly, and soon arrived at the center of the Shepherd tribe's territory. There were quite a few disciples around the center of the Shepherd tribe, only a few scattered around. These disciples did not think the Dragon Palace would attack, so they had no scruples. There were very few of them, and they were neither strong nor weak. All of them were at the Universe Lord level. For this expedition, the Shepherd God race and the other 4 great races, the majority of the Universe Ruler level powerhouses, and above were participating. Try Mad 1, Gad 2, Catch X. Only a small number of Universe Ruler level and above experts were left to guard this place. Wang Xian's arrival did not attract any attention. He hid himself and looked around. Dragon King, over here. At this moment, a middle-aged man stood in a house and transmitted his voice to Wang Xian. He looked over, and with a flash of his figure, he arrived immediately. Dragon King. Orochi cupped his fists at Wang Xian and bowed to him. How's the situation? Wang Xian asked. Dragon King, 70% of the Shepherd God tribe's disciples are in the Blessed Enclave. That Blessed Enclave can withstand our attacks. The only way is for Enlai to bring us in. Yamadachi reported. What we need to do is not to kill the ordinary disciples, but to attract the experts of the Shepherd tribe, said Wang Xian as he pondered. There's a way. Let Enlai send the Venom Horn Dragon seed in. Masha and I will parasitize the experts in the Blessed Enclave. Dragon King, you guys will attack the Blessed Enclave from the outside, and create the illusion that you can use treasures to break the Blessed Enclave. In this way, we can pass the information here to the Shepherd tribe leader and the rest. Under such circumstances, they will definitely come to support us. This way we can kill them, said Yamadachi. This is indeed a good idea. However, we still have to consider one thing. The Shepherd tribe has roughly guessed the strength of our Dragon Palace. The experts from the Shepherd tribe will not come back alone. There will probably be experts from other races coming to help, said Wang Xian. Dragon King, what we are most worried about now is whether the experts from the Angel tribe will come. If they come, we will be in trouble, said Yamadachi with a slight frown. The Elf tribe has already paid attention to this matter. In that case, the Angel tribe will not participate. At most, they will provide help with treasures. They will not send experts or disciples over. Otherwise, it will be against the rules, said Wang Xian. This was a war between high-level races. If the pinnacle races got involved, how could they fight? The rule of the pinnacle races was that they could not participate in the affairs of the pinnacle races. You don't have to worry about the Angel tribe. If the Shepherd tribe is attacked, they will definitely come back to support us. However, if they send reinforcements, the strength of the experts they send back will definitely be on par with our Dragon Palace. At that time, it will be very difficult to eliminate them. Try Mad 1, Gad 2, Wang Xian continued. As he murmured, his eyes shone brightly. This seemed to be a dead end. It was easy to kill the ordinary disciples of the Shepherd tribe. However, it would be difficult to kill the experts. The Shepherd tribe were not fools. They would not send reinforcements knowing that they were no match for the Angel tribe. Dragon King, in that case we will target the other races, said Yamadachi after pondering for a while. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. It was very easy for the other party to come back to support them. The experts from the Shepherd tribe could return to their own god's kingdom in an instant. To support them, the experts from the other races could also return to their own god's kingdom and rush over through the teleportation formation. However, it would probably take some time for them to reunite with their teams after they returned. Wang Xian didn't believe that they could rush over a long distance without the help of a teleportation device. If they had such an ability, the 6 major races wouldn't have to take such a grand action. They only needed to send a few experts to the Eternal River and use a special method to teleport them over instantly. Therefore, he was sure that the other party did not have such an ability. Wang Xian took out the Universe AI and sent a message to Dark Thunder to set up a Devil Soul altar. Soon Dark Thunder arrived. Dark Thunder, send Yamadachi and the others into the blessed grotto heaven of the Shepherd tribe in the next few days. Wang Xian instructed Dark Thunder. Yes, Dragon King. Dark Thunder nodded and looked at Yamadachi. Send me and Dark Thunder in first. We will think of a way to parasitize the experts from the Shepherd tribe in the blessed grotto heaven. After that, send over 1,000 venom horn dragons. At that time, we will be able to create false information, said Yamadachi. No problem. Dark Thunder nodded. In addition, after Yamada-chi and the others are settled, bring Sky Array, Roving Demon, and the rest to follow the teams of the 6 major races. Wang Xian instructed again. Chapter 3571. After giving some instructions, Wang Xian waited patiently. The plan had been formulated. Now it was time to execute it. As for the success rate, he wasn't sure. Bring Ling Honggu over before the operation. The success rate will increase by at least 30%. He murmured to himself. With Ling Honggu's current strength, Ling Honggu could fight against over 20 third-order sovereigns if he joined forces. This time, as long as the experts from the Sacred Dragon bloodline split up. Even if 100 third-order universe sovereigns split into 2 teams, Wang Xian was confident he could wipe them out. The Dragon Palace had 50 third-order universe sovereigns. If each of them could fight one, they could restrain some. As for him and Ling Honggu, they could engage in a frenzied massacre. As he pondered, Wang Xian revealed a smile. This time, he wanted the Sacred Dragon bloodline and the other 6 major races to pay a heavy price. Days passed. At the same time, in the void within the Great Wilderness continent, a terrifying team was flying in the sky. Huge ancient celestial corpse, towering sacred mountain carried by a dozen giants. Huge monsters formed by countless worms, dark and sinister swamps, and black fog. As they traversed through the void, the terrifying aura they exuded caused the surrounding living beings to shiver in fear. Soon, they appeared in the sky above a city. The terrifying aura they exuded caused everyone in the city to tremble in fear. This is the Sacred Dragon bloodline, Shepherd tribe, and the other 6 major races. Their aura is so terrifying. This time, all the experts above the universe sovereign realm should be here. This aura is too terrifying. Look at that ancient celestial corpse, that terrifying mountain, and those horrifying worms. When all the experts and disciples in the city saw this scene, their faces were filled with shock. Black Fog Spirit Tribe, with your talents, you can absorb our sacred mountain for a short period of time. As they came to the sky above the city, the patriarch of the Giant of Light tribe spoke. All right, get the people below to prepare the teleportation array. We can only absorb your sacred mountain and ancient celestial corpse for tens of seconds. We can't hold on for too long. The leader of the Black Fog Spirit clan slowly walked out of the black fog and said, Try Mad 1, Gad 2, Catch X, no problem. The patriarch of the Giant of Light tribe and the others nodded. The black mist slowly absorbed the sacred mountain and the god's corpse into it, shrinking at a terrifying rate. Whoosh whoosh. The Sacred Dragon King and the others flew directly towards the teleportation portal. Without needing them to say anything, everyone made way for them to enter the teleportation array. Around them, all the experts and disciples looked at them in awe. Buzz 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 buzz. Soon, their figures disappeared, and they arrived at the next city. When they released their auras, it caused all the experts and disciples in the other city to tremble. The might of the Holy Dragon King's tribe is too terrifying. There are at least 1,500 or 1,600 of them who have reached the Universe Dominator level. If the Dragon Palace can still withstand it, then the Dragon Palace is simply too heaven-defying. Some people murmured as they watched them leave. The Sacred Dragon King and the other 6 tribes did not try to hide their route. They could not hide it anyway. All the forces in the Great Desolate Continent knew of such a mighty power. Wang Xian could also clearly know their current location. 10 days later, Enlai found an opportunity to enter the blessed grotto heaven of the Shepherd God tribe, and sent Yaki Devilsha in. 1 month later, Yaki Devilsha and Yaki Devilsha found an opportunity to enter the body of the strongest expert in the blessed grotto heaven. An expert with the combat strength of a third-order universe dominator. He was also the pinnacle expert who stayed behind to guard the Shepherd God tribe. Once he was in their body, things would be much simpler. Yaki Devilsha immediately sent Wang Xian a few useful pieces of information. Firstly, the Shepherd God tribe had indeed made thorough preparations for this expedition. To prevent the Dragon Palace from attacking their nests, all the other races were like the Shepherd God tribe. Second, if something really happened, they would return immediately. The experts of the three races would return to provide support, while the other three races would wait. When they returned, they would not bring along war items like the ancient god's corpse. The races that stayed behind would use special treasures to set up a large array to summon them. Of course, setting up such a large array to summon them would consume a lot of energy. Moreover, it would require an equal number of experts to maintain it. In other words, a third-order universe dominator would only be able to summon one expert of the same level. Try Mad 1, Gad 2, Catch X. In short, they could afford this price. They have a total of 108 third-order universe dominators this time. If half of them return, that would be 54. We can deal with them easily. Wang Xian revealed a smile after receiving this news. As long as they split up, he was confident of eliminating them. Our target this time is still the group of experts waiting there. He thought to himself. With the current strength of the Dragon Palace, they could deal with the reinforcements. However, when the reinforcements saw the terrifying strength of the Dragon Palace, they could continue to request reinforcements from the group of experts waiting there. This way, the other party could rush over quickly. If that was the case, it would be troublesome to eliminate them. First, they would attack the group of experts waiting there. As long as they did not escape to their universe god kingdom, they would be isolated and helpless even if they wanted to ask for reinforcements. After eliminating them, they would return. A perfect plan. He took out the universe AI and sent a message to Ling Honggu, instructing her to wait in a city for Enlai to pick her up. Another 10 days passed. Most of the experts in the God Shepherd's tribe's blessed grotto heavens were parasitized by the venom-horned dragon. Enlai immediately rushed to where Ling Honggu was. Dragon King. 2 days later, Enlai brought Ling Honggu over. Wang Xian. Ling Honggu looked at Wang Xian, her eyes glimmering as she shouted, "Thank you very much, Princess Ling Honggu." Wang Xian looked at the beautiful Ling Honggu and expressed his gratitude. She wore a red dress and had fiery red lips. Her figure was perfect. No one would believe that she was from the spirit demon tribe and belonged to the skeleton tribe. "You've helped me so much. This is just a small matter," Ling Honggu said with a smile. "There will be a huge battle soon. Be careful, Princess Ling Honggu." Wang Xian chatted with Ling Honggu. Ling Honggu didn't mind. From her point of view, Wang Xian had helped her too much. Without him, it would be impossible for her to step into the universe god realm. Compared to Wang Xian's kindness, her help was nothing. Chapter 3572. We can start now. All the elite forces of the sacred dragon bloodline and the other 6 major races headed towards the Dragon Palace. In half a year, they had covered half of the journey. Wherever they passed, the experts and disciples of all the races and forces were shocked. Just the terrifying aura of the 6 major races was suffocating. Half a year later, Baki Devilish Chi was ready. Wang Xian and the rest were also ready. Wang. Greetings, Dragon King. In front of Wang Xian and Ling Honggu, the figures of the experts from Dragon Palace gradually appeared. 43rd Order Universe Sovereigns stood neatly in front of them. They looked at Wang Xian and bowed respectfully. "Enlai, how's the preparation over at the Sky Formation?" Wang Xian looked around and asked Enlai, who was beside him. "Dragon King, the Sky Formation has been set up and is waiting for them." Enlai reported with a smile. "Great, let's do it." Wang Xian nodded his head. With a swift move, he took the lead and flew forward. Ahead was the lair of the shepherd tribe. Roar! Roar! The experts of the Dragon Palace roared and followed closely behind. Ling Honggu scanned the surroundings. There weren't many disciples and experts in the lair of the shepherd tribe. Only a few disciples who were not afraid of death were wandering around the area. After all, there were still many disciples in the shepherd tribe. Some disciples didn't think that the Dragon Palace would attack. Of course, there were also disciples who were hoping for luck. The shepherd tribe didn't care about these disciples. After all, they were active outside and could instantly monitor the situation outside. Kill. As long as it's a disciple of the shepherd tribe, kill them all. Destroy all the buildings. Wang Xian flew forward and ordered with murderous intent. The shepherd tribe had sent the ancient celestial corpse to destroy the dragon palace. Therefore, they would have to face the revenge of the dragon palace. Yes, Dragon King. The disciples of the dragon palace answered immediately. Wuxia, and the rest were fast. There were no experts around the shepherd tribe. The speed at which they flew over was far from what those disciples could react to. Boom. Boom. Stepping into the territory of the shepherd tribe, the experts of the dragon palace sensed any life aura from the disciples of the shepherd tribe. Immediately, waves of terrifying energy shrouded them. Try Mad 1, Gad 2, Catch X. What? Some of the disciples of the god shepherd race sensed the terrifying energy and turned their heads to look. Their faces were filled with despair. Boom. Terrifying explosions reverberated as Wuxia and the rest continued flying forward at high speed. The explosion immediately attracted the attention of the disciples in the center of the shepherd god's tribe. They hurriedly flew out of the building and looked outside. No, however, at this moment they felt the arrival of death. An energy that could easily annihilate them covered the area in front of them. Boom. The sound of an explosion rang out again. An expert has invaded our shepherd god tribe. An expert has invaded our tribe. Some of the disciples roared in horror. They were so scared that they almost peed their pants and fled into the distance. Some wanted to return to their divine kingdoms immediately. Buzz. But right at this moment, a pressure that caused them to feel despair enveloped them. And they couldn't move at all under this pressure. This was dragon might, a terrifying dragon might. It's the dragon palace. It's the experts of the dragon palace. They actually dared to launch a sneak attack on our shepherd god tribe. Those disciples trembled violently as they struggled to lift their heads and look outside. At this time, roars were heard. They saw waves of flames and terrifying torrents raging towards the center of the shepherd god tribe. The violent attack, whether it was the disciples or all the buildings, all suffered a destructive blow. It's the experts of the dragon palace. They are here. Run. Run. At this time, those disciples who didn't hide in the divine kingdoms, or the blessed grotto heavens regretted their actions. They shouldn't have courted death like this. They shouldn't have thought that they could get away with it. However, it was too late. Waves of terrifying attacks engulfed them, and the entire center of the shepherd god tribe was immediately engulfed in the flames of war. Lord Guardian Deity. At the same time, at the center of the shepherd god tribe. This was the center of the shepherd god tribe, and also the strongest blessed grotto heavens of the shepherd god tribe. Now, the defense of the blessed grotto heavens had been activated, and a large number of disciples were inside the blessed grotto heavens. Try Mad 1, Gad 2, Catch X. When the outside world was attacked, the experts of the blessed enclave immediately checked the information. They immediately flew towards the palace in the center to report the situation to their Lord Guardian Deity. The Lord Guardian Deity of the shepherd god tribe was definitely an expert at the Third Order Universe Sovereign Realm. In the next moment, a figure rapidly flew towards the edge of the blessed grotto heavens. Behind him was a group of disciples who had stayed behind to guard the blessed grotto heavens. What's going on? There seems to be an intruder in our territory. It's the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace actually dared to attack us. Damn the Dragon Palace. They actually ambushed us while our patriarch and the others were away. Within the blessed grotto heavens, the group of disciples also noticed the situation outside, and they immediately flew towards the edge. They looked outside. Their eyes were filled with killing intent. Whoosh. At this time, a figure clad in golden armor appeared at the edge of the blessed grotto heavens. He stared ahead with a smirk. It's the Dragon Palace. Damn the Dragon Palace. The patriarch and the others guessed correctly. They might ambush our shepherd god tribe. He stared ahead and let out a furious roar filled with killing intent. Lord Guardian Deity, they are destroying our homeland. The group of experts and disciples that followed behind him came to his back and roared angrily. Humph. Fortunately, the patriarch was prepared. The defense of our blessed grotto heavens can't even be broken by a universe sovereign realm expert, let alone a puny dragon palace. When our patriarch and the others step into the eternal heaven river, It will be the day of the Dragon Palace's destruction. The guardian deity said with killing intent. At the same time, he took out the universe AI and immediately informed the patriarch of the shepherd god tribe about the ambush. Fortunately, the patriarch and the others had a warning. Damn the Dragon Palace. They are not far from destruction, yet they still dare to ambush us. This is their final struggle before death, a counterattack before death. However, our clan leader has already made thorough preparations. Behind them, all the experts and disciples of the shepherd god tribe's blessed and heavenly abode flew over and roared with murderous intent. The guardian deity heard their roars, and his eyes flashed with cold killing intent. He didn't know if the Dragon Palace would be destroyed. But all of you will die soon. Chapter 3573. Swish, swish, swish. Within the chaotic continent, the sacred Dragon King and the others were flying at high speed. Not far from them was a city where they could teleport. Buzz, buzz. At this moment, the leader of the shepherd god's tribe stood above the ancient celestial corpse. An urgent voice came from the AI. He immediately opened it. When he saw the content, a cold murderous intent surged from him. Huh, what's wrong, shepherd god's tribe leader? Sacred Dragon King, and the rest sensed the murderous intent from the leader of the shepherd god's tribe. They were taken aback and asked. The Dragon Palace launched a sneak attack on our shepherd god's tribe. The leader of the shepherd god's tribe said with murderous intent. Shepherd god's tribe leader. With the defense of your grotto heaven and blessed land, you should be able to withstand the attack of a true universe lord. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe said. Yes, I have made arrangements within the tribe. Nothing will happen. Just that some buildings will be destroyed by those bastards from the Dragon Palace. The leader of the shepherd god's tribe nodded coldly. That's good. The buildings can be restored quickly. When we arrive at the Dragon Palace, we will kill all the disciples of the Dragon Palace, except for the purebred divine dragons. The sacred Dragon King said. I will integrate them into the celestial corpse and let them suffer great fear and pain. The leader of the shepherd god's tribe said with a violent look. The grotto heaven and blessed land is here. At the same time, Wuxia and the rest arrived at the center of the shepherd god's tribe, in front of the grotto heaven and blessed land. The shepherd god's tribe was located in the middle of a plain, supported by a huge defensive shield. The entire region spanned over hundreds of millions of kilometers. The defensive shield of the grotto heaven and blessed land glowed like radiant divine grass. They could see through the defensive shield and see the situation inside. Dragon Palace, how dare you launch a sneak attack on our shepherd god's tribe? Haha, you didn't expect this, did you? We have long prepared. It won't take long for our leader to annihilate your Dragon Palace. The guardian deity shouted coldly when he saw Wuxia and the rest coming from within the grotto heaven. Today you have launched a sneak attack on our shepherd god's tribe. We will make you pay with your lives. Ha! Try Mad 1, Gad 2, or Catch X. Haha, you want to ambush us? Dream on. Wait for the judgment of our shepherd god tribe. Inside the blessed and heavenly abode, a group of God Shepherd clan's experts and disciples roared. Hee hee, do you think that our Dragon Palace doesn't know that you are prepared? Do you think we can't do anything to you? Wuxia hovered above the blessed grotto heavens of the shepherd god tribe and sneered. Around them, Ling Honggu and the experts from the Dragon Palace emitted terrifying auras as they stared at them. Haha, our blessed grotto heaven can withstand the attack of a true universe ruler. Do you really think that your Dragon Palace can break through our defenses? Inside the blessed enclave, the guardian god laughed maniacally. Even if I let you attack for 10 years, you won't be able to break through. Very soon, your Dragon Palace will be attacked and destroyed by our clan leader. Humph. Able to withstand the attack of a universe ruler realm expert? I'd like to see if you can withstand the attack of my Dragon Palace's treasure. Wuxia sneered. With a wave of his arm, a horrifying dragon head was formed in the sky. Boom. Around him, a group of experts from the Dragon Palace waved their arms and injected energy into the dragon head in the sky. Roar. Roar. A deafening roar came from the dragon's head. That terrifying dragon head looked abnormally terrifying. Within the blessed and heavenly abode, all the experts and disciples of the shepherd god tribe could clearly see that horrifying dragon head. Lord Guardian God, the attack released by the Dragon King of Dragon Palace is so horrifying. Is that dragon head a powerful treasure? An expert from the shepherd god tribe standing beside the guardian god asked loudly. His words were clearly heard by all the disciples of the god husbandry clan behind him. It's a powerful treasure. It should be an innate treasure. However, we don't have to worry at all. Even a fourth order universe ruler realm expert can't break through our blessed and heavenly abode. Their dragon palace won't be able to either. The guardian god said confidently. I heard from my great-grandfather that the defense of our blessed and heavenly abode is exceptionally strong. Only the pinnacle races can break through it. That's right, that's right. I also heard from my father that we are the safest in the blessed and heavenly enclave. Their plan to sneak attack us is destined to fail. Once our clan leader reaches the eternal heaven river of the Dragon Palace, it will be time for them to escape. A disciple behind them said loudly, Try Mad 1 Gad 2, Catch X, attack. At this time, they heard a cold roar coming from outside. Roar, roar. They saw a horrifying attack heading towards the defense of their blessed and heavenly abode. Looking at the horrifying dragon head, they were slightly shocked. Without the defense of the blessed and heavenly abode, they would die without a doubt. Rumble. At this time, a horrifying roar sounded. The horrifying dragon had landed on the defense of the blessed and heavenly abode. They could clearly see the dragon head landing on the defense. Looking at it up close, it was extremely shocking. The dragon had landed on the defense of the blessed and heavenly abode, but the defense did not waver at all. The defense of our blessed and heavenly abode is still very strong. The disciples of the shepherd tribe saw it. They heaved a sigh of relief. This humongous dragon head still looked very frightening. Hee, this is just the beginning. Do you think the defense of your blessed and heavenly abode is invincible? Just wait for it to be destroyed. If you want to destroy our dragon palace, I will annihilate you first. At this time, Wang Xian's cold voice came from outside. Ha! All the disciples of the shepherd tribe frowned when they heard the confident voice from outside. Boom! At this time, they saw the humongous dragon head releasing a dark dragon breath. The dark dragon breath rushed towards the defense of their blessed and heavenly abode. In an instant, that area was shrouded by dark energy. At the front, the heavenly guardian's eyes flickered when he saw this scene. He moved his right leg slightly, and a wave of energy spread towards the place where he was attacked. This was a stream of venom. Without the disciples of the shepherd tribe noticing, it came to the area covered by the dark dragon breath. The venom slowly dripped down to the ground. What? At this time, the heavenly guardian exclaimed as he stared at the place where the venom dripped. What's going on? Why is there energy dripping into our blessed and heavenly abode? What's going on? The disciples of the shepherd tribe in the blessed and heavenly abode were shocked when they saw this scene. Did the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace invade our blessed and heavenly abode with energy? Chapter 3574. What's going on? Why is there energy dripping down? Even fourth order universe sovereigns can't break through the defenses of our blessed heavenly abode. How is this possible? Cries of surprise erupted from the mouths of the powerful beings around the heavenly guardian god. The heavenly guardian god of the shepherd god clan moved, and he approached that place with a solemn expression. Behind him, over 1,000 disciples of the god husbandry tribe were following closely behind him. Their gazes were fixed in that direction. How is this possible? Our blessed heavenly abode's defenses are so strong. How could we be invaded? What kind of treasure does the Dragon King and the rest have? The Heavenly Protector roared in shock. Lord Heavenly Protector, corrosive poison has seeped into our blessed heavenly abode. They are corroding our defenses. At this rate, it won't be long before our defenses are completely corroded. What should we do? Damn it! How is this possible? How could they break through the defense of our blessed enclave? The Dragon King and the rest must have some special and powerful treasure. Shocked voices came from the mouths of the experts of the God Shepherd clan around the heavenly guardian god. They roared in shock. All of them were shocked and in disbelief. Their faces were very lifelike. They were all award-winning actors. That's right, they were award-winning actors. The poison dripping down was released by the Heavenly Protector, the 8 limitless horned dragon. As for the surrounding experts, they were all infected by the venom horned dragon and the rest. It could be said that all 1,000 experts in the blessed heavenly abode had been infected by the venom horned dragon. They gathered in the surroundings and cried out in alarm. Behind them, all the disciples widened their eyes, and their faces were filled with shock. How is this possible? They actually have a treasure that can penetrate our defenses. Oh no, if our defenses are breached, won't we be finished? We're finished. We need the patriarchs to come and save us. Otherwise, once our defenses are breached, we won't be able to resist at all. The group of disciples started to panic. Their faces were filled with panic. Not good, the amount of poison is increasing. We need to report to the patriarchs immediately. At this time, another expert roared. Try Mad 1, Gad 2. Catch X. I'm here to report. The Yamada no Orochi, who was inside the heavenly guardian god's body, smirked. He immediately took out the universe AI and sent a distress signal. This time, the parasitism of Orochi and Masha was exceptionally smooth. That was because the only third-order sovereign realm heavenly guardian heavenly god was in the central palace. After they entered, the other party did not have any suspicions and easily parasitized them. The most important step of luring the tiger away from the mountain was completed. Now it was time to lure the experts of the shepherd god tribe over. The message was sent out. In the rear, there were also many disciples who were sending messages to their elders, their fathers, and the other experts who had followed the patriarch into battle. The sacred dragon king was in the expedition team of the god shepherds and the other 6 tribes. This was because the god shepherd clan had received the news that their clan had been ambushed by the dragon palace. His body was also filled with an intense murderous aura. However, they did not pay too much attention to it. The defense of their blessed grotto heavens was extremely terrifying. However, at the same time, the shepherd god tribe's patriarch and the other powerhouses received a message. When they saw the message, their expressions changed drastically. Damn it, how is this possible? The dragon palace actually has a treasure that can break through the defense of our blessed grotto heavens. Damn it. The shepherd god tribe's patriarch's expression was extremely ugly when he saw the message from the heavenly guardian heavenly god. Patriarch, we have all received messages from our disciples. The other party has a terrifying divine dragon treasure that is currently eroding the defense of our blessed grotto heavens. Poison has also invaded our defenses. We don't know how long our defenses can last. An expert of the shepherd god tribe walked over and said with an ugly expression, I have also received a message on my side. There is also a video sent by our disciples. The dragon palace has a special treasure. One by one, the experts surrounded them with ugly expressions. When the sacred dragon king and the others heard the message, their expressions changed slightly. They did not doubt that the dragon palace had a treasure that could break through the defense of their blessed grotto heavens. After all, the sacred dragon king and the sacred dragon bloodline had won. However, such a treasure was extremely rare. Among the 6 major tribes, including the exterminated heavenly plant demonic beast clan, only the sacred dragon bloodline had won. They did not expect that the dragon palace also had won. Try Mad 1, Gad 2. Catch X. Let's go back immediately. The shepherd god tribe's patriarch said with a gloomy expression, the defense of the blessed grotto heavens must not be broken. The disciples there must not die. All the disciples of the shepherd god tribe were there. They were the foundation of the shepherd god tribe. According to the plan, the shepherd god tribe's patriarch looked at the experts of the Black Fog Spirit tribe and the Ghoul Ghoul tribe. All right, according to the plan, we will go and support them immediately. The Black Fog Spirit tribe's patriarch and the Ghoul Ghoul tribe's patriarch nodded. Go back. The shepherd god tribe's patriarch roared with a gloomy expression and disappeared. The experts immediately followed him. Sacred Dragon King, Giant of Light Tribe's Patriarch, Insect Tribe's Patriarch. Wait for our news here. The Black Fog Spirit Tribe's patriarch and the others said. All right, if you encounter any trouble, inform us immediately. We will rush over instantly. The Giant of Light Tribe's patriarch nodded. The Black Fog Spirit Tribe's patriarch and the Ghoul Tribe's patriarch nodded, and left with the group of experts. That damn dragon palace. How could they break into the blessed grotto heavens of the Shepherd God tribe? The Insect Tribe's patriarch said angrily when he saw them leaving. Humph, they are just delaying their destruction. The Sacred Dragon King said with a gloomy expression. Let's go and wait in the city ahead, he said as he looked ahead. The experts of the three major races nodded immediately. However, at the city, several pairs of eyes watched as the experts of the Shepherd God tribe disappeared. When they saw the Sacred Dragon King and the other two races flying over, they smiled. A piece of information was also quickly spread. Success. The next moment, Wuxia, who was in front of the defense of the Shepherd God tribe's blessed grotto heavens, smiled when he received the message from Enlai and the others. Luring the tiger away from the mountain was a success. The 6 races were divided into 2 groups. 3 races were here to support them, and the other 3 races were waiting there. In the interior of the blessed grotto heavens, Orochi, who was parasitizing the guardian deity, also received the message. In the palace in the center of the blessed grotto heavens, Sha, who had been hiding, also received the message. Chapter 3575. Hee, they've succeeded. The Dragon King and the rest have succeeded. Disciples of the Shepherd tribe, your doomsday is here. Are you trying to destroy our dragon palace? Sha, who was located in the central palace of the grotto heaven, roared. He waved his palm and injected a stream of energy into the ground. At the same time, the powerful defense around the grotto heaven began to dissipate gradually. The defense was gone. Inside the grotto heaven, Orochi, who was parasitizing the guardian deity, revealed a smile. Wuxia, who was outside, also revealed a smile when he saw the scene. What's going on? The defense of our grotto heaven seems to have disappeared? What's going on? SSS, what's going on? Why did the defense suddenly disappear? Why did it disappear so quickly? No. The defense is gone. It's gone. The sudden disappearance of the defense of the blessed enclave stunned all the disciples of the God Shepherd tribe. Their bodies trembled as they roared in terror. Why did the defense suddenly disappear? Was it melted by the horrifying treasure of the Dragon Palace? How could it be so strange? Ha, disciples of the Shepherd tribe die. Roar. The experts of the Dragon Palace let out a cold roar when the defense of the grotto heaven disappeared. Roving heavens and the rest did not hesitate and flew inside. Terrifying energy raged inside. No. Voices of fear and despair came from the disciples. Wuxia moved and dashed out instantly with a cold smile on his face. The strongest among the disciples of the Shepherd tribe was only at the level of a universe supremacy. How could they resist against Wuxia's group of over 43rd Order universe sovereigns? With a sweep of the energy, countless disciples were easily killed. They couldn't even escape. Wuxia waved his arm, and a demonic soul altar appeared in front of him. Leave no one alive. End this quickly. Roving heavens and the rest roared. All the disciples of the Shepherd tribe were annihilated rapidly. 43rd Order universe sovereigns attacked at the same time. In this small space, it was absolutely destructive. In less than a second, all the disciples of the Shepherd tribe were killed. Only those disciples who had resurrection treasures were able to escape this calamity. Try Mad 1, Gad 2. Catch X, Dragon King. After these disciples were killed, Enlai's figure appeared. Go. Wuxia swept his gaze across the surrounding experts of Dragon Palace and ordered. It's Dragon King. One by one, experts of Dragon Palace flew over and surrounded Enlai. Buzz. The next moment they left. However, there wasn't even a single corpse in the Shepherd God tribe's heavenly abode. Dragon Palace, you are courting death. At this time, in the depths of the Shepherd God tribe, many figures flew over, emitting terrifying auras. The Shepherd God Patriarch stood at the forefront. He stared in the direction of the blessed enclave, and let out a furious roar. Boom, boom, boom. At this time, hundreds of figures flew over from the left and right sides, and they also emitted a vast and terrifying energy. They were experts from the Black Fog Spirit Clan and the Ghoul Eater Clan. Before they set off, the 6 major races had already set up a communication array so that they could quickly gather together. The experts from the Shepherd God Tribe, the Black Fog Spirit Clan, and the Ghoul Eater Clan flew over. As they got closer to the center, they were shocked. They didn't sense any powerful energy in front of them. They didn't even sense the existence of living beings. What's going on? One of the top experts from the Shepherd God Tribe was shocked. He narrowed his eyes and increased his speed slightly. The Shepherd God Tribe also increased his speed and rushed towards the Blessed Enclave. However, when they saw the situation at the Blessed Enclave, they were shocked and astonished. Why did the defense of the Blessed Enclave disappear? Where are the disciples of our Shepherd God Tribe? Where are the people of Dragon Palace? What the hell happened? One of the top experts from the Shepherd God Tribe growled in a low voice. The Shepherd God Patriarch stared ahead and suddenly had a bad premonition. He immediately came to the sky above the Blessed Enclave of the Shepherd God Tribe. What's going on? Shepherd God Tribe Patriarch? The Black Fog Spirit Clan and the Ghoul Eater Clan flew over and asked curiously. The Black Fog Spirit Clan's Patriarch scanned the surroundings. He had an extremely sharp nose and seemed to be able to smell anything. I smell death. Just a dozen seconds ago, there were countless casualties below us. Try Mad One, Gad 2, said the Patriarch of the Black Fog Spirit Clan with a serious face. His words made the Shepherd God Tribe Patriarch's body tremble, and his face turn extremely ugly. The disciples of our Shepherd God Tribe. The eyes of the surrounding experts of the Shepherd God Tribe turned slightly red when they heard that. My God Nation. The Shepherd God Tribe Patriarch's body shook, and his God Nation appeared behind him. He waved his arm and a book flew out of his God Nation. On the book were the words Shepherd God Tribe Genealogy. He flipped open the genealogy book and saw the words on it. His eyes almost popped out of their sockets instantly. 70% of the names on the genealogy book were missing. This also meant that 70% of the disciples of the Shepherd God Tribe had died. Dragon Palace Dragon King. The Shepherd God Tribe Patriarch, who was holding the genealogy book in his hands, roared in anger. 70% of the disciples had died. That was the foundation of the Shepherd God Tribe. How long would it take for them to recover? All the disciples of our Shepherd God Tribe in the Blessed Enclave have been killed. They have all been killed. When the surrounding experts of the Shepherd God Tribe saw the furious Patriarch, their bodies trembled and their eyes turned a little red. 70% of the disciples had been killed. This hatred was absolutely irreconcilable. We rushed over so quickly, but our disciples were still killed? When the experts of the Black Fog Spirit Clan and the Ghost Ghoul Clan saw that, their faces changed slightly. The Dragon Palace's attack was too fast. The Shepherd God Tribe Patriarch and the others rushed over as soon as they received the news. Even so, they were still too late. They were a little shocked that they could break the defense of the Shepherd God Tribe's Blessed Enclave so quickly. Whoosh! Whoosh! The breathing of the experts of the Shepherd God Tribe was a little short, and their faces were extremely ugly. The experts of the Black Fog Spirit Clan and the Ghost Ghoul Clan didn't look good either. The Dragon Palace's strength was stronger and more cunning than they had imagined. Dragon Palace, I want all your disciples to suffer for millions of years. I want every one of you to live in endless torture and pain. I want you to beg for death. The Shepherd God Tribe Patriarch roared ferociously at the sky. He wanted to avenge his disciples. He wanted the Dragon Palace to pay 10 times, 100 times the price. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.